this is Sanchita Bora, Product Manager, One Click Equity. And today I'm going to talk about the newly released portfolios in One Click Equity, metals and defense. So before we proceed on with the newly released portfolios, I would like to give you a brief overview of what One Click is. So One Click Equity is basically one of our flagship offerings that allows you to invest in theme-based baskets of stocks and ETFs. So it gives you the benefit of diversification as you are allowed to invest in a basket of 5 to 7 stocks rather than investing all your funds in one particular stock. We have a wide range of portfolios spanning across different sectors and themes. So you can choose to invest in any of these portfolios basis your risk appetite, your investment horizon, and the amount that you wish to invest. Just to share a few examples, so let's say if you can relate with the trend of virtualization and digitalization of the businesses, we have a portfolio called Digital Winners for you. If you are able to associate with a particular sector, and if you wish to choose, if you wish to invest in the stocks of a particular sector, we do have sectoral portfolios like the metals portfolio, defense portfolio, power portfolio, FMCG portfolio. Also, if you choose to invest in stocks for a long-term point of view, we also have portfolios like the golden large cap and the golden mid cap. So come now, let's look at the newly released portfolios, metals and defense. There are a number of factors or parameters that need to be considered while investing in a portfolio. So I'll be discussing about these parameters for both the newly released portfolios. So the first factor that needs to be considered is the theme or the rationale. This helps in addressing the reason as to why you should be investing in a particular portfolio. The second factor is the constituents of the portfolio. This tells you where exactly you are investing your funds in, the stocks of the portfolio. Now that you know the theme of the portfolio and the constituents of the portfolio, you also need to know the amount that is required to invest in the portfolio. So the third important factor is the minimum investment amount. The fourth factor that needs to be considered is the time horizon, which tells you the time during which you need to stay invested. The fifth and the last factor is the risk involved in the particular portfolio. So come now, let's look at both the newly released portfolios. Let's look at the newly released portfolio metals. So now we'll try to look at the reason or the rationale or the theme of this portfolio. So this is basically a sectoral portfolio wherein all the stocks belong to the metal sector. So you must be wondering that, out of all the sectors available, why have we zeroed in on the metal sector? So the primary reason for this is that because of the geopolitical tensions between Russia and Ukraine, metal prices are likely to increase. Also, if we look at Russia is one of the major producers of metal, and it also holds a very important position as far as the world steel trade is concerned. If we look at Ukraine is also one of the major exporters of steel. Now, because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, the supply of metal is going for a toss, and hence the prices of metal are likely to increase in the near term. So I'll just try to explain this with the help of a demand supply graph also. This is really very simple. So let's say if this is the demand for metals, and if this is the supply of the metals, and this is the initial price. Now we know that the demand is constant, and because of the reasons that we have just shared, the supply of metals has reduced. So this is basically the new supply of metals. Now, if you see, this is the new price that is coming for metals. So it can be said that because of the reduction in supply, the prices of metal have increased. So this is basically the theme of the portfolio. Now coming to the second factor, which is the constituents of the portfolio. So this portfolio basically consists of 5 stocks, and the weightage of these stocks varies from 16% to 25%. Hindalco is the stock with the maximum weightage, which is 25%, and Coal India with the least weightage, which is 16%. We also have other stocks like Tata Steel, Jindal Stainless, and JSW Steel. So these are the constituents of the portfolio. Now let us look at the minimum amount that is required to invest in the portfolio. So the minimum amount required to invest in this portfolio is around 11,400. If you wish, you can either choose to invest in multiples of this amount, or you can choose to invest in any amount which is greater than or this amount as per your preference. Coming to the time horizon of this portfolio has a time horizon of 1 to 3 years. So whenever an exit call or a profit booking call is given by our end, it is communicated to you through mailers and notifications, and you can book the profits accordingly. Now coming to the fifth and the last factor that needs to be considered, it is the risk. So if we consider a scale of 0 to 10, this portfolio has medium risk, that is between 6 to 7. Now, also if we look at the market cap distribution, it is leaning towards large cap. Around 80% of the weightage of the portfolio is large cap stocks, and only 20% of the portfolio is the mid cap stock. So these are some of the important factors that need to be considered while investing in the newly released portfolio metals. So now let's look at the second portfolio, which is defense. So firstly, we'll try to understand the rationale or the theme of the portfolio, and then we'll be looking at the other factors. So again, this is a sectoral portfolio wherein we have the stocks from the defense sector. So the reason as to why we have chosen this portfolio is, number one, as discussed in the previous so the reasons as to why we have chosen this portfolio are as follows. So firstly, because of the ongoing geopolitical tensions between Russia and Ukraine, globally the countries are going to increase their defense expenditure. Second reason as to why defense stocks are likely to perform in the near term is that because of the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative of the government of India is planning to reduce its import of defense equipments and make India more self-reliant as far as the defense equipments are concerned. So now, once the import of defense equipment reduces, it is the defense companies of the country that are going to receive more orders from the government, and their revenue is likely to increase. Also, if we look at the budget, the amount that has been earmarked for the defense sector has increased by 10% as compared to the previous year. So it is because of these reasons that the defense stocks are likely to perform well in the near term. Now, let us look at the constituents of the portfolio. So this portfolio basically consists of 7 stocks. As far as the weightage of the stocks are concerned, it varies between 12% to 17%. We have stocks like the Bharat Electronics, Cochin Shipyard, Hindustan Aeronautics, Data Patterns, and others. Also, if we look at the investment amount of the portfolio, the minimum amount required to invest in the portfolio is somewhere around 15,300 rupees. If we look at the time horizon of the investment horizon for this portfolio, it is somewhere between 1 to 3 years. Now let's look at the risk of the portfolio on a scale of 0 to 10. Again, this portfolio also has medium risk involved. So one of the reasons for this is because how the market cap distribution is for this particular portfolio. We can see that around 50% of the portfolio, 57% of the portfolio is leaning towards small cap, followed by 24% towards large cap and 18% towards mid cap. So this is basically a brief overview of this portfolio. And now we'll also be looking at as to how you can invest in this particular portfolio. So all you need to do is you need to log into your ICICI Direct account, either using the website or the mobile app. So here I'll show you how you can invest in these portfolios using the website. You need to select one-click equity. So here we have the portfolios metal and defense. You can choose to invest in any of these portfolios. So here the constituents of the portfolio is given, the CMP is given, the number of shares in that particular portfolio is given. If you wish, so you can compare the performance of the portfolio against the benchmark indices on a real-time basis. So this portfolio was launched on 10th March. So since 10th March, you can invest, you can compare the portfolio performance against the benchmark indices. So now this is the minimum amount that you need to invest in the portfolio. If you wish, you can either invest this amount or increase the amount. There are two options available for investing. You can either choose to invest in a staggered manner by choosing the SIP option, or you can also invest at one time, selecting the lump sum option. If you choose the SIP option, you need to select the date for starting the SIP. You can also choose a frequency as per your preference. We have a wide range of frequencies available from weekly to yearly, which can be chosen as per your preference. And the time period. So the minimum time period required is 3 months, and on the higher end, it can be till cancellation. That is, you can stop the SIP as and when you want. So you just need to click on invest now, click on proceed, and the SIP gets placed. So that's all from my side. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all related documents carefully before investing.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from ICICI Direct.